Yeah, sure. That's good enough.
Okay.
Hey folks, this is going to be a cooking with the Henson's video. I'm doing my beef teriyaki. The basic ingredients is a medium-sized onion, 2 cloves of garlic, some ground ginger, about a fourth of a tablespoon. Teaspoon. My assistant will be basically helping me. Cup and a half of soy sauce, a cup of water, which I've got here in my little measuring cup, a
quarter cup of salad oil.
Quarter cup of salad oil. We're using olive oil, and anywhere from a 2.5 to 3 pound roast, and a tablespoon. Was that right? 2 tablespoons of sugar. She's got the recipe over there, so I can't read directly from my recipe. But basically what we do is she'll be cutting up the meat for me.
What kind of meat?
It is basically an eye round roast.
No. Here.
Sorry,
you want something marbly?
Yeah, you want something marbly. This is actually a chuck shoulder roast. So any cut of meat that's basically a roast with a lot of marbling, because when you go to cook it, which will be part of tomorrow's video, you broil it, so it will cook off the fat and it renders some good flavoring that way. So while she's cutting the meat...
Can I just ask you one thing? The recipe calls for lean, so I'm supposed to trim off.
Yeah, trim off as much of the fat as possible. If you've got one with a little bit of extra fat on there, trim it down, because it's supposed to be lean, but with a good marbling. So unfortunately, with a good marbled meat, it means there's going to be a little bit of extra fat on the end. So you might have to just trim it down a little bit. Do you need your mat so that doesn't slide all over the plate? Let me go get your mat.
Okay. Sorry.
It's all right.
Actually, Jim, there's one right here.
Do you have a mat there that won't slide all over the place?
I did. Oh, here.
Okay. Yeah. So if you're working at the kitchen table like we are on a surface where your cutting board might slide, please put a mat underneath there so you don't cut yourself.
There's another tip of a wet paper towel. That's another good tip.
Yeah, a wet paper towel is another tip.
If you can't.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna.
Let me know when you're. Pick the cup.
I gotta make sure it's like a.
It's a couple pieces, I think, isn't it?
No, it's one big long piece, but it's rolled up. So.
Thank you.
All right. So while she's doing that, I'm going to try to mix all the other ingredients. 2 of the ingredients that I won't be able to do until later is the onion and garlic clove, because I want the onion cut up. My mom is not a big fan of onions, so we normally pick after it's marinated over. Sorry there, folks. We had a little bit of an incident. I forgot to put my phone on airplane mode, so as soon as I got a notification, it stopped the recording. So you'll have the 2 pieces attached. Anyhow, we cut the onion up into fairly good sized pieces so Mom can pick them out. We usually try to pick it out. Like, this will marinate overnight, so tomorrow morning when we go start cooking it, after we pick out as much of the meat as possible to put on broiling, we pull out the onion and garlic, which we'll cook for ourselves on a side burner while the marinade boils down, so it's not full of raw product. It's cooked down so it's not raw juices. Anyhow, I'm just gonna get up for a second.
I'm right here. I could have told you everything. I already read it. It's in my head.
That's right. Just need to borrow your glasses.
Okay.
Okay, Jim's gonna look goofy because he's wearing his wife's glasses.
Why don't you go get your glasses?
Because I'm a little lazy.
Oh.
I'm a little lazy. I had to go to work today, so I'm not feeling like moving around a lot. All right, so she's doing this. I'm gonna add the water. I don't know why I'm doing it this way. I should have just left it all in the same. Probably because this is not a very big.
It's not. Yeah, you have to pour the water out. Yes.
Yeah.
You're right.
1.5 cups of soy sauce.
Using reduced sodium.
Yeah, we use reduced sodium soy sauce just for health purposes, trying to monitor our health. While I'm holding this and watching it pour, I'm gonna tell you a little story. I got this recipe from a lesson book because back in the mid-90s, after Mom and I moved to Missouri, I decided to experiment with teaching, or not teaching, learning. And I basically decided to take a online catering course because I didn't know what exactly kind of job I wanted to try to do. And I thought about, oops, there's not enough in this bottle.
That's why we left the other one on the counter.
Yeah, so I'm gonna grab the other one. I should have grabbed it first.
It's okay.
Um,
By the toaster?
no, it's not here. Oh, it's hiding behind the napkins.
Mmm. Tricky, tricky.
Yeah. So anyhow, I decided to do an online catering course, and it had a lot of great recipes on there. And some of the recipes that I was able to do by myself and I was pretty good at, this was one of them. And Mom and I at the time experimented with it, and we loved it. So it was one that we put in our cookbooks.
The permanent.
Yeah, the permanent cookbook. So this is one of maybe about, I'm gonna say half a dozen to a dozen recipes that I kept.
Really? I only know about this one.
Yeah, because this one was the best one I could do. The other ones I kept, actually I don't even know if I have them still. I'm sorry, I'll take that back. I don't even know if I have all of them. Because the books that I had, the course books, disappeared on me. I don't know if it was, they got damaged, I threw them away because...
He threw them away.
Yeah,
You brought them to New York and you threw them away.
Probably, because I had no room for them. I don't know. But in the end, basically, this was one of my better recipes, one of the ones that I could do the best. I tried making meringue. That was kind of, it was, I tried doing custard. That was a flop.
Quarter cup.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to think of all the different recipes I actually attempted to do and just kind of like weren't so good at them. But it seemed like when it came to baking, I was not the... Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to find some more oil. I'm not doing so good tonight. Yeah.
So while he's gone, I will tell you, I'm trying to cut against the grain. So this particular cut of meat actually was 2 pieces butted up together. So previously, the grain was running this way. As you can see, that's why I was cut it this way. But now the grain is running this way. So I'm going to switch it up and start cutting that way. No, just get the olive oil out of the closet. Don't be stubborn.
Big can.
It is a big can. I'll fill up the bottle. Not as big as cans we used to have in New York.
Hang on, I'm sorry.
No, you're okay. I was just showing them. So if you can see, the grain is this way, like the fibers are the grain. What you want to do is you want to cut across the grain. What that does is makes a tender cut, tender chewy meat. Basically, you're not trying to chew these leather strips. You're getting all these little cross sections of meat, which is definitely the way to go. Now, usually you get 1 or 2 that aren't, because when you first start, it's hard to tell sometimes which direction it's going.
Okay, let's see if I can get this bad boy open.
It's probably pop up. Has it got a thing?
Well, that's the thing is I don't know because...
Move your fingers. Grab the ring that's on the side towards you,
Yeah.
and the ring that's on the side towards me. Pop them open, and now grab them together at the same time with one hand, and go straight up. It'll pop. You might have to stand. You don't really have leverage sitting down like that. Sorry. Yep, you got it. It's gone. Okay. And then that should twist off.
Yeah, it looks like it. Okay.
It's been a long time since we had a can of oil in the house.
Yeah. Usually we get the small bottles that are easily used to refill, but
Yeah. This
now
was such a good
I've got to be
price.
very careful on pouring. one, I don't want to make a mess, and two, I'm gonna need those back. Or no, I'll get
No,
mine.
here, no, here.
You sure?
Yep. It was just a.
But anyhow, let's see here.
Unfortunately, your bowl is here. Nobody can see what you're doing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry about that, folks. Trying to pour and not make a mess, and there's a little bit of oil on the actual can because of the way that spout is.
It's okay. I'll clean it up before I put it away.
Yeah.
I'll probably make a little bit of a mess filling that bottom.
Well, yeah, we always seem to.
No, I don't always. It's just it's a big can.
Yeah.
Sorry.
True. This is the first time. Alright, so now that we're done with the actual measuring cup, we can set this off to the side.
I need 2 tablespoons of white sugar, 1/4 teaspoon of ginger.
Yep. Let's see here, 1/4. And before we go to put the meat in this, of course, we'll
You gotta whisk it.
whisk it all together. Is this ginger? Make sure that's ginger. This is ginger, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It smells like it too.
Yeah. It doesn't have to be heaping, just a nice,
That is heaping.
well,
No, it can be heaping. It's just that it doesn't have to be.
oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But I try to level it out just because sometimes certain people in this house go, oh, what's that extra flavor? It's not extra, it's just I didn't totally measure. Oh, if I can just reach this sugar. This is our big old sugar container.
Yeah, you know you have a little jar of it on the counter, don't you?
Now she reminds me.
Well, I didn't pay attention before.
I'm,
Sorry.
I'm just teasing.
It might need to be full, actually, with the way that everything else is going. It
Yeah.
probably needs.
So 2 tablespoons worth of sugar. Pour it in the mixture. Done with those. Put it all in my dirty clothes. Oh, dirty clothes. Oh yeah. Dirty dishes. It's been kind of a. I don't want to say chaotic because it wasn't really a
While you're
chaotic day.
telling a story, can you just pop the 2 cloves of garlic out of there?
Yes, of course. It's just it was one of those days was I wasn't really mentally, let alone physically prepared to go into work today. And of course, it's a Saturday and it was a beautiful day outside. A little warm, but of course a lot of people were doing outside activities, mowing lawns, going to their friends for swimming. Uh-oh, some of these clothes feel very soft.
You check the garbage.
Yes, I'm sorry. Here, just throw it all on the meat.
Yeah.
Oh, you're gonna do that.
This is why I was taking the dry bars.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Wow, I'm having a tough old time with these cloves. Now I'm pretty sure there's people out there who know how to do this better than I do, but
I think you're doing a great job.
That's a big old honking clove.
Yeah, let's use that one.
So anyhow, there's our cloves of garlic. I'm gonna jump up and get our trash can or a bag of some sort.
Here.
You have bags there?
Yeah, of course.
Sweet.
There might be more meat to pick off of here, which is but I want to get your onion.
There's no holes there, so I can do this. So while she's cutting up the onion, I'm gonna go put the garlic back so we know what it is.
I'm gonna French this onion. So that way it's big enough. There's enough surface to release its flavor, but it's big enough that Mom can pick all the pieces out.
Yeah, if we don't get them all.
Right. If there's any. Well, I guess I should have said that so we can pick the pieces out for Mom.
Oh, let me scoot up so you can put your garbage in there.
Okay.
While Joanne is slicing and dicing, I'm going to stir this mixture. You want to try to get it stirred up as quickly as possible so you don't have like the sugar especially settling to the bottom and making it harder to mix. And once we get like the garlic and onion in here, we'll put the meat on. We'll put the meat in there and try to mix the meat together, which I need to go get a pair of tongs for, to basically get the meat as soaked as possible so all the meat is covered in flavoring. What I used to do when I was doing this by myself before Jerry Ann came along into the picture, I would basically use a large bowl, put the meat in the bowl, pour the juices, or basically the liquid, the non-meat components, marinade on top, and then cover it with a, what I do is I cover it with a piece of saran wrap. Ooh, are you okay?
Oh, my thumb hurts. So
Oh,
that really
yeah.
just
So
hurt
be
a lot.
careful, please. I'd cover it with a piece of saran wrap and then just put it in the refrigerator. Jerry Ann introduced me to the idea of taking a small plate, putting it on top of everything, pushing the plate down, and then putting saran wrap over the whole thing, and then putting a object, inanimate object, wherever we could, on top of everything in the refrigerator to weigh it down to keep the meat in the juices. So either way will work, but the idea is once you get everything cut up, thrown together, put in the bowl, covered, stick it in your refrigerator for 12.
What does it say in the recipe exactly? I think you
The
wrote down.
recipe, I think I wrote down 12 hours, but I think I just wrote down overnight.
I thought you
don't
wrote
know.
8 or overnight. Sorry, that's what I remember. That's why I'm asking.
Oh, 10 hours.
Oh, okay.
Up to 10 hours. If it stays in the refrigerator longer than 10 hours, 12 or so, that's all right. All you're going to do is just get more marinade and flavoring into that meat. And then tomorrow when we do the actual cooking, basically we'll show, well, that will be part of part 2 of this video.
I need a wet rag. I can't do this. I need a wet rag. Just
Okay.
Sorry. Sorry.
I thought you were going to finish that statement.
Yeah, I don't know why I'm doing this. You were supposed to be doing this.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I have a garlic peeler.
Ooh. What?
could-
Oh, man.
Well, it's okay.
Yeah, no, I forgot all about the garlic peeler.
Is this a clean one?
Yeah, it's a clean, fresh one. Those of you who might have seen or heard through Joanna's video, a gentleman by the name of Barry Allen from the UK, he does a lot of different cooking things and he has a lot of different gadgets. I have just bare minimum gadgetry. I'm not a big gadget fan person. Did you? It looks like this one didn't get husked.
I see.
I just happened to notice a weird tip on it and went, that doesn't look right.
Really? Back half.
Okay.
Thank you. Good job.
I just happened to notice that and went, wait a minute, that doesn't look right.
Okay. So now some of these pieces I have to trim down because they're really, really long. So I'm gonna ask you for your approval and then just dump them in when they're done. Or do you wanna do it?
I think most of those look pretty good.
I didn't. Most of what? This is scraps. Don't look at that.
No, the piece, no, I'm looking at the pile of,
No, some of them are really big. Is what I was trying to say.
that's alright.
Okay. See, like that.
Yeah, that's fine.
Doesn't need to be thinner.
No, because they'll shrink when we go to broil them, remember?
Yeah, but they have to cook evenly. I thought they had to be close to being the same size.
No, because usually when I try to lay them out
So
on
I'm gonna be
Yeah.
doing them. Okay.
Go ahead, I'm sorry. Usually when I go to lay them out on the broiler, I try to same size
See, that one
pieces
is
on
like.
the. That one can definitely be sliced in half.
I feel like it needs to be.
Alright, I'm gonna go through this. No, I got this over here. Duh.
Okay.
So what we're doing now is we're just making sure all the pieces are a fairly decent size. The recipe I have calls for like 2-inch strips, but they can always be strips. They can always be, you know, fairly decent size. You don't want them really small because then they'll shrink and you won't have meat. You'll have weird looking roly-polies.
Can you help me?
Sure, what do you need, babe?
Close your book. My thumb hurts. Can you
Oh, okay.
give me whatever I need to cut instead of me doing it the other way around? Whatever doesn't need to be cut, yeah, you could just put in the bowl for me. That'd be great. Anything else?
So
Sorry, you
like
can tell
this is probably about your average piece. You might have some of them that are kind of like on the square side. It don't matter. If you've ever done your own homemade beef jerky, which I've never tried to do, I've done dehydrated fruits, that's about it. You would know that your average piece of jerky is a nice long piece, like something like that. But like I said, as long as
doesn't need to be trimmed, that big old piece of fat.
ooh, yeah, I didn't even see all that fat.
Oh, I was like,
It's a bunch of it on one side, but that's
yeah.
about it.
Okay.
But yeah, if you can try to get as much as your fat off, your sinew, whatever you want to call it. I'm not a butcher, so I wouldn't know what to call it.
Well, there's both in this particular cut of meat.
Right.
So this is sinew, and this is fat. You see?
Yeah.
One's like silver skin.
But like if you see this piece, that's a little on the small side, but it's not. I've done smaller, so
Plus, some boil down in the sauce,
yeah.
right?
Some will cook down in the sauce. Some of it will, when you go to broil it, it will shrink a little bit, but
And some I actually do the pan fry with the onions. If they're so
Right.
little, they come out.
right. But you want, if you use like a regular
I can't do
broiling pan, you want to basically make sure your pieces are big enough that they don't fall through the holes in the broiling pan. I don't have broiling pans. I use wire racks. So I want the meat big enough that it's not going to fall through the wire rack, but I want it small enough that you're not having to slice up your after cooked or your cooked meats to be manageable for those who have denture issues or just issues with chewing. So for the most part, yeah, all these have been very good sizes.
I don't know if I can do anything with that.
Yeah, if it looks like this piece right here, that would be perfect for jerky. Whoever gets this piece when they pull it
No,
out.
it's gonna have to be too long.
No, it's
You
not
want
going
me
to
to
be
cut it
too.
down?
No, because Mom will cut her.
I know it's not what I'm saying. It just they won't dry. They won't cook evenly.
Yeah, go ahead and cut that in half.
Because you said 2 inches. 2 inches is like I can get 3 of those at 2 inches.
Oh, okay. I'll just cut it in half.
Okay.
But yeah, some of these pieces are going to be cooked separately, probably grilled with the onions and garlic, and maybe thrown into like. You want to cut that in half and try to get that piece of sinew
I'll try. Yeah.
right there. Because I mean, yeah, cut that one in half too. Sorry, babe.
It's okay.
But one of the things that I wanted to try after cooking this is, oops, darn it, I wanted you to cut these in half as well, they're a little long.
Good.
Is we have a frozen bag of Asian medley.
The stir fry?
Yeah,
The
stir
seasoned?
fry.
The
I think
seasoned or the regular?
I think it's regular. I don't think we
Unseasoned?
have
Okay.
any seasoned. But I mean, like, cook those vegetables, get some brown rice, the vegetables, and some of this meat together. I bet you that'd be a great teriyaki bowl. Homemade teriyaki bowl. My mouth is now
Do you know what I
watering.
need? I'm sorry. Go ahead. You're doing what you're doing. I need my sharpener. I need my honer. This is
Okay.
really like, that's
Getting
my
dull.
problem. That's my problem. Is my knife.
All right, I'll
is-
get that after I wash my hands.
Yeah, thank you. Sorry.
Not a problem. Not a problem.
So I'm going to end up hurting myself sliding all over the...
Yeah, I don't want you to hurt yourself either. Whoops, I don't know what I did there.
Sorry, I don't use that one. The
Oh,
one
that's
the,
right,
The
you
one
use
in
that.
the drawer. I'm sorry.
That other one. Pop's old one.
Yeah. It's no, it's in the long drawer where the onion keeper goes.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. Should be right in the front.
Yep.
Should have checked it before I started. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's all right. It happens.
Thank you.
Okay. So while she's finishing up on the last couple pieces of meat, we're almost ready to basically mix it all together so the meat and juices get all combined. In fact, I'll probably do that while she's finishing up. And if it don't matter how you mix it, as long as you can get as much of this meat covered and in underneath the liquids. And as you can tell, I'm not a professional. I'm doing this the way I would do it on my own. And I know most of you appreciate the fact that I'm just doing a cook with me. The hardest part about doing this, I'll be honest with you, is waiting until tomorrow to cook. Because, I mean, I'm smelling all the aromas from the liquids and whatnot, and I'm just like, is it dinner time? Is it Sunday dinner time?
Should I cut this in half long ways?
Nah,
That's
nah,
good.
that's
Okay.
good, that's good.
So this one too then?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, the fun part, besides doing all this mixing and whatnot, in fact, you can get the whole family involved. Somebody could be cutting, somebody could be mixing, somebody could be, putting all the ingredients together while you have maybe one of the kids do some cleanup.
Well, definitely with the measuring and stuff too. Kids learn good that way.
Yeah. My father, unfortunately, was, because Mom and I were very picky at the time, would chase us out of the kitchen when it came to dinner time, making the food and whatnot, because I'm pretty sure my father knew that if I or Mom saw certain ingredients getting mixed together, we'd be like, ew. But 40 years later, granted I'm almost 49, I'm like, nah, that's great. That's a great ingredient. Put it in there. I've learned over time to appreciate the different ingredients that goes into a food item to make it taste the way it tastes. Unfortunately, this one over here is a mild. I'm a medium when it comes to the spice level. Mom's a
no spice.
Yeah, no spice, please. She likes the flavors that go into this: the garlic and onion, the sugar, the soy sauce, the oil.
I don't think I can get anything. I don't think I can get the silver skin off anymore. I think
You did what you could.
This is scraps, yeah.
Right. Go ahead and put everything in this bag.
No, it's all right.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I had an idea.
Uh-oh.
I don't know if it's gonna work.
What's that?
The purple. Ooh, that was not a good idea.
Yeah.
The purple container that we have.
The big tall one with the purple lid.
Mm-hmm.
Put all this in there.
I think that might work.
You know, we're gonna try something different. This is gonna be an experimentation.
Looks like it'll fit in there, and then this way we don't have to weigh it down, and it'll take up less room in the refrigerator.
Right.
Because one of the problems we're having today is we're overly blessed in our refrigerator area. Because I think this bowl is like 2 quarts, and I think that's a 2-quart container, so I think it might work. And this isn't even full.
No, so just kind of like use the tongs to get the meat in there.
Yeah, do you want me to? Is it okay if I do it?
Yeah, you can do it. You're less messy than I am when it comes to that kind of thing.
Let me see.
No, I would have it all over the place. So instead of doing it my normal way, we're going to experiment with a new way just by putting it in this container and then sealing it so all the aroma will stay in.
The flavor.
Yeah.
2 tickets to Flavor Town.
Yeah, because if I wake up in the middle of the night, smell that, and be half awake, half asleep, I might end up eating it raw. Who knows? I wake up in the middle of the night, I'm just like, food.
If you don't know, hi, I'm Jerry Ann, by the way. I'm sure
Yeah,
you've heard a
those
lot
of
about
you-
me. But I have a YouTube channel where I do a lot of stuff at the Dollar Tree, and then this container's from the Dollar Tree, and we just love it.
Yeah.
It's become like my new favorite dollar purchase. I have to get some more.
Yeah, because we end up using that.
A lot.
We have one in the refrigerator right now. It's got what's called egg roll in a bowl, which is something. Was it Alicia?
Yeah.
Jerry's sister Alicia from New York
Told us about
it. And basically, what it is exactly what it sounds like. It's basically the contents of an egg roll.
It tastes like that.
Yeah.
Okay, because, yeah.
It's basically the contents of what some people would put in an egg roll: cabbage, carrots, ground meat, and the seasoning that goes with the Asian seasonings that we use. Ooh, we might not be able to get all the juices in it. Should I get another container to save the juices?
If I can't get them in here.
Yeah, I'm just looking and
I want to get at least the garlic. We can.
Yeah, and some of the sugar and whatnot from the bottom. But anyhow,
I just stirred that. Oh, I thought you saw something I didn't.
No, it just sounds like it. That's all.
Oh.
Because sometimes even after stirring, it still settles. Oops.
So what do you think? Should we do this method then, or should we?
You know what? This looks perfect. We can do this method, but we'll save the rest of these juices in a separate container so we
make
can
sauce.
Yeah, to make the sauce. But anyhow, the egg roll in a bowl is basically cabbage, carrot, onion, ground meat, and seasoning. And instead of putting it in a rice wrapper or lumpia wrapper or some sort of wrapper which has got a lot of carbs and whatnot, it's basically a low carb dish. And there's some in the refrigerator still. That might be my midnight meal.
That's my dinner. Yeah. Is it midnight already?
No, it's 11:25.
Okay, because.
But all right, I'm gonna go get another container while she's trying not to overflow. Onion fell out.
Onion. So what I should have done is taken some of the onions out.
Well, yeah, you can do that. But I kind of wouldn't just because of the loss of flavoring. What size container do you think I need for the leftover juices? Medium, large?
Medium.
If you want to put some of that in here, then we can have two separate containers.
Just want to make sure I get all the meat out.
Yeah, I think.
But I stirred up all the juice, this sugar, so it's not like all the sugar in one area.
Okay, cool.
I was like, you pushed that. I wanted
Sorry.
it. See, I feel like I can actually get more in there because do you see the way it?
Yeah, I wouldn't try too low because.
Okay, so good. You were saying.
Because I don't want when you clamp down it spurts out.
Here's what I was trying to get to. So if I bring up the solids, which can go in the dome, right?
Yeah.
If I could pile the solids, what'd you say?
Okay, well the solids have to be under the.
When I clamp it down, it'll push. That's what I'm thinking anyway.
Okay, just.
Don't do it. It's your recipe. I was just trying to get it all in here for the refrigerator.
Well, as long as you got most of the meat and whatnot under the juices, I don't think it will matter. And if, like I said, if we have to put it in a separate container.
Well, we're gonna anyway. There's definitely gonna be leftovers. I'm just trying to get the most in here that I can,
Right.
so that the most flavors amalgamate.
Hey, I trust you. You're better at these things than I am. I'm just.
Like that?
Yeah.
That's what you're afraid of?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, I need a rag. I have a rag. I just need I was thinking a towel would probably be better.
You want a towel?
Yeah. I think we just lost a little bit. It's not gonna make that much. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, because usually there's more juices than solids.
Right.
It
actually wasn't that it was overflowed. Is that I had to squeeze the sides of the container to get the clamps.
Yeah, that's kind of like one of the things I was worried about, but like I said, this right here, this method, it's new, it's an experimentation. The only way you can learn on certain things is experimentation. I mean, that's how I learned how to make chili mac my way. Experimentation. That will be hopefully a
I have a great idea.
a future video of my own. You want to try to fry those up to...
I didn't even mean that. I meant to flavor this particular batch of juice.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, we can. It's not going to hurt
So,
anybody.
I mean, the fat will render when you cook it.
Yep.
So one of the things my father used to say is fat is great because it adds flavor.
Yes, fat is flavor.
It is a form of flavor. In fact, when pork and beans was first discovered way back on the wagon trail, they discovered if you add fat back or part of the fat from the bacon into the beans when you cook them, it gave it a better flavor. But I'm not a food historian, so what?
Get your dirty stuff and put it in your bowl.
Yep.
We should be all.
So that is part 1 of this recipe. This is a beef teriyaki recipe. I'm gonna go ahead and start signing off because it's getting late. But if you enjoyed this part of the video, give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions, comments, or you want a written recipe, I can put that into a comment box or something like that in the near future. If you're new to this channel, this is actually the first how do you call this?
Collaboration, I guess.
Collaboration between husband and wife on cooking. I wanted to do this video as a couple because, in fact, like I said, she does a lot of the slicing and dicing while I do the mixing and gathering up all the ingredients. And it was a recipe that I introduced her. Was it back in New York or shortly after we moved here? It was a recipe I introduced her. The fun part of this recipe when cooking it is dealing with your smoke alarms. That will be on tomorrow's video, the funness of that. So until next time, like I said, if you're new to the channel and you want to see more...
Is this the end of your video? You're doing it in 2 parts?
Yeah, I'm going to do this in 2 parts.
Oh.
The cooking part will be tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
If I decide to connect the two, you can help me with that.
Oh, yeah, okay.
But if this is a 2-part video, this will be the end of this particular part. If you wanted to see more of my insanity, hit that bell. You'll see YouTube will let you know when I put in more videos. Jerry Ann and I both put in videos on a daily basis now. Yeah, I'm actually putting in videos daily now. If you don't know where her channel is, just let me know and I'll put it in the description box or something like that. Until next time, God bless and have a good day.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay.
There we go. Alright, folks, we are back for the cooking aspect of beef teriyaki. You want to get yourself 2 pans. If you have broiling pans, you can use broiling pans. We don't, so I use 2 cookie sheets and 2 wire mesh or wire grated racks. I guess you call these cooling racks. You don't have to have the one with the long legs. The stubby legs is fine. It's good. The meat and juices that have been sitting overnight. I told you, according to the book, it's 10 to 12 hours. Well, we let it sit for 17. It's going to make it more flavorful. A saucepan for the juice. A small frying pan for your onions and other vegetables that you might want with or that was soaking in the juices. Some aluminum foil and 1 to 2 tongs depending on who all is helping you. Since there's going to be 2 of us working.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to stop you. I thought 1 tongs is supposed to be for cooked meat.
Well, right.
And 1's for raw meat. Okay.
She's right. 1 for raw, 1 for cooked. I usually keep the 1 for cooked meat closer to the oven. So I have 2 here. If we end up both using the tongs, just make sure you have 1 for cooking, 1 for non-cooking. Jerry Ann is currently pouring the juices off into the
extra ones.
saucepan, a little bit of extra juices.
And we'll prep the pan.
And
okay.
We're gonna prep pans.
I don't want to argue with you on your camera. But
No, just
I think you need to take your little tripod and set up either my camera or this camera and leave me one of the cameras should be set up over by the broiler. Set your oven racks. Show them how you set your oven racks. And I'll prep pick on the foil.
oh,
I'll show
sorry.
them how to prep the pans. So, just a quick tip. Aluminum foil. will ease and clean up. Will keep your pans looking as new as possible, because you will drip juices under the cooling rack. The other thing that is sometimes a trick is you spray down your cooling racks so that they're more non-stick. Let's do this the right way. So if Jim, I'll leave it here and Jim can do that. I'll do the foil. Do you want to bring over a cooking spray, love, or?
Yeah.
Let's spray down them.
You probably have to set the camera over here. Do you want me to wrap it around the microwave door?
You need to look into the broiler, not down at the stove.
Oh, okay. Now I got you. I've got you now.
You thought it was for the sauce and stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be next, but that won't be now. That'll be last. So we're probably gonna make this in multiple batches, but I'm only gonna spray it once. Okay. And then you just start placing.
Where's the camera, babe?
You have to pull down from the top right-hand corner, or you could just ask Siri to open the camera.
Siri, open camera.
You have to say, "Hey Siri, babe."
Hey Siri. No, not responding.
All right, give me.
Oh, I got it. Never mind. I got the camera.
Okay.
Whoa. The leg wanted to go that way. That leg wanted to go. Alright, I'm setting up the broiling pans. Because broil is from the top, you want your top rack at least. On the second, I just put it on the second run to put it closer to the top. But if I put two pans at once, I want one at different levels, or be able to do it side by side. And of course, you gotta set the oven to your broil setting. That way it gets warm enough to, let's see, put it on high. There we go.
No, you put it on broil. Is it broil button?
Broil high. It goes high-low.
Sorry, gotcha.
So that should be your setting for your broiler. I would suggest removing as much stuff from the top of your stove just to ensure that we don't have any accidents. Then, in fact, we're going to be cooking the juices. So I just hit stop on the recording.
You can leave it. I have plenty of memory.
Okay.
You have it in a good position.
Yeah, I have it facing right at the oven door.
You can see in it though? You open
Yeah.
the door and look inside?
Yeah. I'm gonna put this pair of tongs over here.
Would you prefer to do this part? I mean, I've always just done this part. You've always done that part.
Well, that's why I run two tongs over that so both of us can work at it, but it don't matter to me. So this is the slower process due to having to pull everything out of the containers.
It's not that slow. Do you have your book to say how long you need to broil it for? What's next to
It's
you?
5 and 5.
Oh,
is what
5
I
and 5,
remember.
okay.
If I remember right, 5 and 5. Or just basically 5 minutes and then put in the next one for 5 minutes.
I will tell you that the container situation was a good idea because the refrigerator room and such. But I will tell you that it is a lot harder to pick your meat out of this without surface area. So it's taken just a tiny bit longer that way, but we did save in room in the refrigerator.
Let's see here.
And also not having to put a plate on top. That was another way we saved room.
Now, let's see. You know what? It's very strange that I did not put in how long to broil.
What does it say? Read it.
It says remove from marinade, broil meat, strain marinade juices from broiling pan, cover low heat, place braised meat in dish, add marinade to cover meat, serve hot from dish.
Braised meat.
Well, that was probably the term that was used in the cookbook, the original cookbook.
But you didn't braise meat.
What do you mean I didn't braise the meat?
The braised meat is like how I do in the pulled pork.
Oh.
Where it's like
Yeah.
roasted but with water in the bottom. Okay.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, huh?
Okay. So I've put a bunch of little pieces here in the middle to try to maybe make equivalent of one big piece. So if you want to start there. You also need to get a bowl for your cooked meat.
Right, that's one of the things I'm gonna do next.
Okay.
I forgot to mention that. That onion right there?
I think, yeah. Is this right there or is that fat?
No, it's fat.
Okay.
Oh, right there on top of that piece there's a really soggy onion.
Yeah, I'm wondering with my eyesight, like, should I be doing this by myself?
Bowl. Of course, I did two things. I probably had my butt in the way when I was doing that. And do I have a big enough dish?
Yeah, the blue one, the big blue one.
Big blue one?
Yeah.
Alright.
That's the one we use.
Okay. This is a Corel dish that my mom got. It will have our temptation, not Corel. Thank you, Jerry. And so we're gonna use this for the cooked meat.
I think one of the things that you could share that you learned was about cross-contamination, and that's why you keep
Yeah,
your separate cooking space.
I'm sorry, folks. Jerry's correct. We need to keep our cooking space and our raw meat space separate. So we're doing the raw meat aspect here on the kitchen table. Cooked meat will be over there on the kitchen table. I'm sorry right now, all you see is my hand, so.
On the kitchen counter.
Kitchen counter table. I can't talk today.
It's alright.
One of the fun things you'll see us in the video probably doing, or at least hear us doing, is running around crazy waving at, waving at our smoke detectors, because our smoke detectors not only go off when there's smoke, but when there's too much heat from the oven. So that will probably, that sound effect will probably be in the video. And I would try to keep my swearing down to a minimum while waving at it.
How about to not existent?
Or in a foreign language?
No, foreign language is still swearing.
I know.
It's against the community guidelines.
I know. Well, that's why most of my videos are rated for 18 and over.
No, it's community guidelines for
I know,
adults too.
I know.
Oh no, I didn't know if you did.
Yeah, I read that.
Okay.
That's why I was joking.
Oh, gotcha.
Having fun there?
No,
Do you want me?
killing my arthritis.
Do you want me to do it for a little bit?
Um,
If it's hurting your arthritis.
these tongs are like.
I know. Super springy.
No, they're rubber grips coming off the thumb,
Yeah.
So you're like trying to hold it while you're.
Well, I said if you want me to, I can.
I know you could. Here, you want to do something?
Yeah.
If you want to do something, it's a different story, but.
Yeah, of course I want to do something. Not that I'm. Let me bring that closer to me. Because I'm wondering if you can pour that small one. No, I don't know.
Not yet. I want to wait to fry this separate or saute. You know, do it separate, or at least have a separate section in the pan for it, like a.
Yeah.
You sure that's open?
Yeah, it's a nice long piece.
I know, but I don't remember cutting them that thick.
There was one or two of them that were kind of thick.
Okay.
You touch my raw meat with your fingers.
It's the first time I ever sit down.
Hey.
This is falling off. Do you see that?
Yeah, so I think this tray is full unless I can
Yeah,
find a
room for
small.
there, I think. That one was good. Oh.
This one here. It does not matter. Well, it's alright if the meat touches. The thing is though, is when your chunks of meat decide to start touching, when they start to broil, they might become one big clump.
You stuck together, right?
So we try to make sure there's a little gap in between
There's
pieces of meat.
These two are touching pretty good.
Yeah,
That's
couple
just
of
me
them
down.
are.
There you go. Pull it that way. There you go. That's what I was trying to say.
So, all right. So our second tray is full.
I'm gonna work on picking out onions. Sorry to
yeah,
make you rush.
that's right. Diane's gonna start picking out onions what you can. I gotta wait for that timer to go off to check that batch of meat and see if this one's ready to go in.
You don't turn them, right?
No, no. That's why we use the open
Right. Just making sure.
pan. That way, can
Yeah.
I just thought about this because of the fact that Ninja Foodie has a broil setting. I'm not going to experiment with it today, but I might experiment with it on a future date to see how well the Ninja Foodie cooks this.
I would love to have dehydrated it. The Ninja
Mint
Foodie
jerky?
has a dehydrator, right? Okay.
This one doesn't.
Yeah, I thought it did.
If it does, I don't remember reading about it.
Oh, I'm pretty sure it does. Okay.
I'll have to reread that then, because if it does have a dehydrate session,
You're the one who told me.
I might
Air
have. I
fryer,
just don't.
dehydrator. What?
If I did, I don't remember.
Oh, okay.
Because I know it's got an air broil, an air fry, an air bake, toast, bagel, and there was another setting, but I can't remember what it was. I don't think it was dehydrate though.
Okay.
But I might be wrong because it was a while back I read that. I'm wondering if because we have both these cameras going, if we'll have a bleed over.
I'm not sure what you're saying, but okay.
Double sound. Alright. Our timer just went off, so we're going to turn that off for now. As you may or may not be able to see, there's a lot of steam and whatnot coming out. So, we're putting on a fan, which the fan is a little loud. Ooh, yeah. Oh yeah, that's cooked.
What are the drying pads for?
Yep, I heard you first. I'm sorry.
I didn't know.
No, that's all right. Once you've done your first batch of broiled meat, you can put that on 5. I know it says 4 right now. But the first batch of meat I always put on about 6 minutes just to make sure it cooks and gets warm enough. But once it gets up to temperature, you can drop the temp down to 5, or the time down to 5 minutes. And if you notice, some of the pieces of meat have gotten smaller because they shrank during cooking. So a small piece is going to turn out to look something like that. So it just, still it's edible, it's easier, not as much cutting or anything like that. Some of the small strips will get small. But you notice there's a nice amount of juice here. That's going to go in our pan. Alright. So Jane's got our pan of juice there. Let me give that.
You want me to do the? You want me to do this?
Or hold the camera, either way.
Okay.
So we're just gonna pour those nice juices in there to be part of the sauce consomme, or however you want to put it. Let me put this camera down. Sure?
Yep. Just want to put the rest of this in there too, because after pulling out all the onions.
Oh yeah, all the juices that were
in the onions.
In the onion, yeah, in the onion. In the onion.
To get some carryover, you know.
Yep. So you want to leave some of those juices in there to help cook those onions, don't you?
No.
Okay.
The onions then will steam instead of frying.
Right.
So you want to get them so they saute. So, then on high. That's on the left there. Actually, you know what? It's probably better for you.
Yeah, because I'm going to need that space for the So now we have basically our juices here in the back, our onions and garlic here in the front. Those are going to cook down and be added in part of the meal. Oh yeah, true. I usually just boil it. We could try thickening it a little bit, but
we've got it before. So you're not going to treat it like, you need to get the steamer out there.
I don't know how I'm going to do that with the pan. Because I got to use the surface for the hot pan.
You can put a trivet over on the counter.
True.
Oh, on the other side, move my bread. There.
Your bread.
Move that bread.
We made cinnamon swirl bread this morning. Dessert.
Trivet.
Stretch. Okay. I'm gonna put my. Yeah, I got it. Stop. Okay, I need a second one. Yep, I got it. Oh, hot tub now. There goes Mr. Musical.
Doing it on camera, you know that, right?
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
I did it once. I figured the second time was not, that necessary.
All right, what's up?
As long as they show them the end product. Figured I was gonna move the camera.
That one?
Yeah.
Oh.
Are you gonna need this, or is that all meat?
That's all.
Okay, cool. Okay, we've got the last batch of meat in the oven. Right now we're cooking. Hold on a second, Mom. We're cooking down the sauce and the onions. Hopefully this is facing me. I'm about ready to start some broccoli because we're gonna have broccoli as a veg. And then once it's all done, we'll do a final shot.
Get the broccoli on, hon.
I'm trying to.
Oh, okay.
You want me to do all three heads or just
Oh, wow. Yeah.
1.5?
Maybe just the old one. Well, just wait. That's why you gotta let it. Let it. Yeah, we gotta let it happen. Your rice will be cold by the time everything else is done. Say it again? Yeah. What'd you say after that?
After broccoli comes out?
Oh, it's not going in the microwave, the broccoli.
Fresh.
That's what I'm saying. We haven't been down the sauce yet. We never put the timer on for the last batch.
Okay.
That's what I meant. The broccoli's just going in the... Two of them. Thank you for trying to...
Yeah.
The two of them, or you got two?
I've only got one.
Okay.
I guess I have one more.
Just need broccoli.
No, I put the old one up top and the new one down in the bottom.
Okay. So then, yeah, they're little. I didn't know. I thought you meant... Okay, I thought you meant... Yeah, both broccolis. I know you said three. No, I know you said three, but I thought you meant
Oh, okay.
both broccolis. How long did we boil this sauce down for? Where's your camera? Was it looking at you cutting broccoli?
Yeah. Go ahead, take it.
I was just going to put it over by the sauce.
Yeah, okay. No problem. Okay.
Here, it still sees you doing the broccoli then.
Okay, cool.
Is that on? It needs to be.
Oh. Okay. I didn't even turn that on.
Okay. This way you still have room for one of your last trays going in the same way.
Yeah. I gotta throw it out.
I just didn't want to be dangerous.
No, I understand that. Just have to turn off some of the steering.
Yes. Will you get a brown rice look?
Yep.
Okay, we're boiling.
That needs to go down. It's boiling too hard. Actually, probably too long.
How do you know? That's what I was asking you.
Color.
Color.
Yes, ma'am.
It didn't change color.
Okay, well, need to stir it up a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, that's looking done.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't take long to finish. To cook the sauce down.
No?
No. Once it starts to boil, and once it starts boiling the high that was a second ago, it's pretty much done.
Okay.
Just a matter of. Oh.
No, you're just distracted. I know.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
It's my fault. This is probably done.
You think so?
Yeah. Open her up, take a look. I can't tell. You have to pull it out a little bit.
Okay.
Give it another minute. I got one.
You can take one out there. Just leave it on the counter for you.
Yeah. I went to go grab this one. I'm like, why is this stuff? Oh, that's right. We cooked them.
It doesn't come off. I'm saying these are done. Okay. Get a bowl for them and I'll get them out.
Beef monkey?
No. Small cereal bowl for that. One for the rice. One for the rice.
Was that for mom's rice or for?
No, for the brown rice that's in front of you.
Oh, I thought the brown rice was the bigger bowl. Well, we're gonna need this for the broccoli, right?
Yep. Let me get this meat in here and the sauce in there, and then she can come on over and make her rice. Okay?
Push.
Mind you, yeah. Okay. Ah! Man overboard.
Piece of meat won't hurt.
What?
Got a piece of meat won't hurt.
Oh, I know. Okay, so I need a tiny monkey.
Alright, one second.
All of these pieces on the end here had all the sinew and fat we
Yeah.
saved, and we were like, let's try cooking them now.
Yeah.
So I want to keep them separate. So, because Mom's luck, she'd get the one that's like the one that's you can't chew.
Yeah. Pure chewy.
That's how that happens, right, Mom? If it's not for bad luck, you get no luck. All right, let me get this up out of your hair. Okay. Okay. Not yet. Sorry. I just said it was out of your hair, so let me get out of here. You need the sink, right? Yeah. No, I need that. Sorry. Yes. I gotta watch this game. Get out before now. Where's the small one? Up in the
Oh, way up there.
Yeah, I'll get it, Mom. I'm sorry.
No, I'll use this one for now.
It's okay. Let them get it. This way, yeah, this way we don't have to get people to see. Ginormous, extra large. Okay.
That's one time.
There you
Sorry.
go.
Two You want the small?
No, the one that hers is the no silver.
I'll do it, Mom. I'm right here. Yeah. I know. I'm here to help.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep. Nope, not yet. Gotta put the sauce on the. Don't I have to do that? Don't I have to put the sauce
Yeah.
on the pan?
Yeah. Oh, you took a couple of those? Mm-hmm. Okay. You didn't have to, Mom.
I just thought I would.
Okay.
If you're in more well done.
Yeah. Broccoli looks like it's done.
Okay.
Hot.
Don't do anything to it yet, just leave it, okay?
Yeah, I turned it off and put it back. That's all I did.
It's good. So, Mom, 60 seconds you said, right? Yeah.
No water or anything,
I asked you for a Baja Blast about an hour ago. Want to get me that?
Oh, you took a couple of those? Mm-hmm. Okay. You didn't have to, Mom.
I just thought I would.
Okay.
If you're in more well done.
Yeah, of course. Love to have some onion.
Look at all the stems.
Mm.
You can see the ones Jimmy cut and the ones I ripped off.
Alright folks, we're almost done with everything. The other camera is recording Jerry saucing the meat and getting everything else ready. You can serve this over rice. We're making broccoli, but you can have any kind of vegetable you want. You can do an Asian medley, whether it's seasoned or not. If you ever go to like, there are some Asiatic restaurants that serve their version of beef teriyaki. Every version is different. Every combination is different, whether it's rice or the Asian noodles and vegetables, or one of my favorite little eateries in back in Arizona at Paradise Valley Mall in Arizona. It was I forgot the name of the place. Coyote Bowl. Thank you, Mom. They used to serve basically a bowl. Bottom was rice, and on top of it was their either teriyaki chicken or teriyaki beef. I always got the beef, and it came with like sauteed onions, like what I did earlier. So that's basically the recipe. I'll try to. Sorry about the noise in the background. It's a combination of exhaust fan and Jerry Ann doing her usual after cooking cleanup. But I forgot what I was going to say. Oh yes. Basically, if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments, put it in the comment box. I will try to put the recipe in the description box. So hopefully the recipe will be with this video. If I forget, because I do sometimes forget, just ask for the recipe. I'm not stingy, I'll give it out. If you're new to my channel and enjoyed this video or the chaos, give that bell a ring or a tap. It will let you know when I put in my new video. There hopefully will be more cooking with me videos in the near future, once I either get the ingredients for some of my recipes or get the chance to cook. I just took a peek in the cookbook and I saw a couple of the different recipes that I'm the one who basically created the recipe or modernized, or however you want to put it. But they're recipes that I remember from my dad, and I was able to recreate by taste. One of the many gifts that my father left me was the ability to taste something and tell you the base ingredients. Maybe not the measurements, but I can tell you what was pretty much in the food. So until next time, God bless and be safe.